Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cameron. If you're new here, welcome. So today's video is going to be a little more on the informational side of things for us. As a lot of you guys know, if you've followed me for a long time, you know that I am a Disney travel agent and I am just expanding out to YouTube. So I am so excited for all of this new adventure. So follow along for more tips and tricks on, taking a toddler to Disney. Plus, follow along for our just daily vlogs of when we go to Disney, because we go quite often and we're going so that we can get more tips and tricks and more, trying new things and doing different activities and different dining. And we're doing all this for you guys. So follow along. So today's video, I want to talk about the Disney minivans. I am sure if you've been to Disney, you have seen them on the property somewhere at some point and you have wondered, what are those and how do I book those? So today's video, I want to give you guys kind of a little information on how you book them and why we book them and what they do and how they work, I guess, in like that sense. So I'm gonna go on and just kind of give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of that. So for this portion, I'm going to show you guys how to book the minivans using your phone. It's going to all be through the Lyft app. I'm sure you guys have all heard of Uber or Lyft, that rideshare app. This is what it's on. It's on Lyft. So you need to download the Lyft app and then you need to create an account to be able to book a minivan. So then after that, you're going to have the Lyft app, and then I'm going to do it all on my phone, and I'm going to talk you guys through it as I'm doing it and kind of describe what I'm seeing and what I'm saying, like what I'm seeing, what I'm clicking on, and like go with that. And then I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna actually put the screen recording of me doing the process so you guys can kind of get that better look at how it works for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my Lyft app. So obviously, like right now, I am at home and it's not gonna pick up that I'm at Disney, but thankfully I can click on the where are you going? And then I can change the start location and I can change my destination. Obviously, if you have the GPS on, when you're at Disney, it's going to automatically pick up where you're at and kind of assume that that's where you want your destination pickup at. So, but I'm going to go ahead and put our last resort we just stayed at. So we just stayed at the Disney French Quarter. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. So then Disney French Quarter. Sorry, I was reading a text from my mom on that. And then I'm going to do our destination. So for the destination, I'm going to do the Disney Polynesian Resort. This is actually, sorry, words are hard today. This is actually one of the routes that we just did on our last trip. We were there. We went from the Disney French Quarter to the Disney Polynesian. We went for the Ohana breakfast. So this is what we did. And again, I will explain a little bit of why this was kind of our best route. So then again, I'm going to go ahead and enter the Disney Polynesian Resort. And then it's going to find that. Okay, and then it's going to ask me, where do I want to be dropped off at? So it's going to give me like 2 or 3 options. Sometimes it'll give you a building number if that's a possibility, but it's also giving me the main lobby, the Island Tower, or the Pago Pago Longhouse. I might have butchered that, but sorry. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the main lobby because when we did the Ohana breakfast, Ohana is on the 2nd floor of the main lobby, so main lobby just makes sense. So I'm going to set my drop-off location, and then it's going to ask me to confirm my pickup location. Again, we did the main lobby at French Quarter, and that's because we were like building 3 right there. Like we were right outside the main lobby. We were super close. So we, got off our building elevator, walked to the main lobby, grabbed a drink. Pretty sure we grabbed something else that morning and walked out front and got our minivan. But so like you can pick main lobby, then there's like building 4 and 6, building 7. So pretty much if like there's a parking lot close to that building, they can usually kind of pick you up closer to that area, which is super nice and super convenient. Again, something I'll kind of explain a little bit later. So right now we're just gonna do the main lobby while we're doing this. And then it's gonna confirm your pickup. So then it's gonna show you kind of like where in the area there's minivans that are close in the area, I guess, like if that makes sense. So kind of like, oh, I can see that there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minivans that are close right now. and it's telling me that there's going to be a 5-minute wait. Estimated pickup time or arrival time is going to be 8:42. Currently it's like 8:27 here, so honestly it's like the same time. So not that bad of thing. Now the biggest thing is like the pricing of it. Right now it's going to show me that it's $40.38 for the ride. So, okay, that's really not bad. It's not that far of a drive. It looks like it's maybe like a 16-minute, 20-minute drive from one section to the next. So $40 could seem like a lot, but sometimes like convenience factors and other little things that we'll talk about will just make sense, especially if you have a little one. But like for ours, going from one resort to the next is going to be something I'll talk about in a minute. But it was really convenient for us, so price didn't really matter. So for $40.38, and that is up to 6 people. So then you would like select your minivan, and then it's going to ask you like to personalize your ride if you'd like, and then you're going to hit next. And then it's going to ask you again, please select your pickup and head to location for your driver. And then you're just going to hit confirm and request. Now I am not going to obviously confirm and request a minivan right now, but that is how it's going to work on your phone. Super easy. But then it's going to, once you hit confirm, it's going to then ask, or then it's going to tell you that like sometimes you're in like this little queue where it's just like, okay, we're waiting on your driver to pick up the ride. Or sometimes instantly, we've had it when it's not super busy, like a driver has picked up your ride and will be arriving in such and such minute. That's been really nice. But then sometimes you are in a queue, like if it's like the end of the night at a park night or a park day, and it's like right after fireworks, and like the lines are insane for the buses, and everyone's trying to catch a minivan. Like there's times that it is just went spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and been like, we're looking for a driver, we're looking for a driver. And so I get it, but that's what it's going to do. As soon as a driver picks up your ride, it's going to confirm your ride, and it's going to be like, your driver number is, or your driver's name is such and such. And I don't think it has a picture. For some reason I'm thinking it has a picture. I can't visualize it in my head, but it might have a picture of the person, the driver, but I don't think it does. I think it just says their name, and then it's going to tell you minivan number such and such. That's really important because when they come to pick up, like they all look the same when they start like coming through into pickup, like especially at like Magic Kingdom in the minivan pickup section. You're like, oh, is this my minivan? Oh, is this my minivan? They look like polka dotted Suburbans, because that's what they are. And you just have to look for that little number. So like one time we had like 157, and they're all labeled with it. Like the labels like are right on the back that say like the number of that minivan. And once they like get there, they get out and they're there. They ask your name and who you are, and you confirm, etc. And then, then there's your ride, which is awesome. So that's like how you book one pretty much. It's simple as that. You get on the Lyft app, it's going to give you, you're going to pick up your time or pick up your location, drop off location. You're going to confirm the amount that it's going to estimate you. And that, the confirmation of like price range, I have seen it anywhere from, I have paid probably $35 for a ride all the way to, I have gotten on to look for possibly a ride to being like $75, which was like the highest I've ever seen it. And that was one of like the busier peak times we had went, and it was like, it might have been not quite 70. It might have been like 68, 69, 73, maybe. Like, I'm trying to picture in my head, but it was around that price range where I was kind of like, yeah, is the convenience worth that little bit plus a tip? You do have to tip your drivers, obviously. I mean, I guess you don't have to tip your drivers, but modern convenience, modern times, I would feel really bad if I didn't tip my driver. So you have to do that price plus the tip. And I just do the tip on the app. So it will automatically, after your ride, ask you your ride. It'll give you like a rating, so you can rate the ride, the driver, and then it'll ask you like what percentage of a tip you would like to leave on that card that you had on file. So super simple. But then it's going to do what you're going to go through that whole process and confirm your ride, and voila, you're going to go to your designated pickup place or the designated area that you selected, and you're going to wait on your minivan. Which the cool thing is, like, the app is also going to have a tracker. So like once I put that, or when I put that on the screen, you guys could kind of see where like the minivans were at. So you can still do that with, once you've confirmed and picked up, you will see where your minivan driver is, and you can like follow it on the map, and you're like, oh, okay, they're getting ready to enter the Magic Kingdom parking lot over here. So you're like, okay, that's my minivan because mine's showing it's like right there. So which is super convenient. So that is how we book them and some little tips about it. But let's go into details of why we book them. So a little more information on the actual minivans. They are going to be pretty much a Suburban that is decorated as a minivan. They're also going to hold 2 car seats per minivan, or well, I guess not hold, but they have 2 car seats per minivan in them. So they are already equipped with that like extra thing that toddlers and kids need at Disney. A car seat, one less thing we have to ever worry about. Because we don't bring one with us, so why would we? Like, but so again, like that is great. Those are already equipped per van. Other than the ones that are going to be those accessibility vans, you can select those when you book for anyone that's going to have a motor scooter or anything like that, or wheelchair, needs that kind of extra assistance. They do offer those, but I have heard, rumor has told me, some of those vans only are equipped with 1 car seat versus 2. You know, I want to tell you that that's true, but don't quote me on it. It's something that I'm not sure even if it'll tell you when you book that it only has 1 car seat, or I know it's going to tell you how many people it holds, but again, I'm not 100% sure on that one. I do know though that if you book a standard minivan, it is going to come with 2 full car seats that are going to be able to convert from an infant car seat, or they're going to turn around and they're going to be a full toddler car seat, which are great. So then the thing about that is obviously like these car seats need to be installed in every minivan to like fit your child's needs. Well, your drivers are going to be the magic to the whole thing. They are certified in all of this Disney training for car seats. So they know, they can kind of look at your child and they know how that, where or what that car seat needs to be set at for your child, which is great. So they are going to set all of that up and put it in for your child. So it's like, you know, you're not, after a long park day, it's like, you don't want to be like, oh, I got to put a car seat in and I've got to adjust it to my kid and I've got to do all that. No, you're set. Like they are going to, while you're unpacking your stroller, while you're getting your kid out of the stroller, they're going to be putting in this car seat for you and it's going to be ready to go. And literally they've got it ready. You grab your kid, you put your kid in. Now they do, obviously you have to put your child in the car seat. They will not do that for you. And then they expect you to check the straps of the child, which 100% as a mom who's kind of, you know, I want to call a helicopter mom some days, but it's okay. I'm just an overprotective mom. I want to know that that car seat's hooked and everything how I want it hooked. So I am completely fine with getting in, hooking my child in, and making sure that they are tight, secure, and where the chest clip needs to be, etc. So that's the case. And then you just turn, it's like one of those swivel ones that turns one way or the other, and then it turns around and your child has a DVD player right there in front of their seat playing Mickey, Minnie, some kind of movie. We've been in where it's been a Disney movie, princess movie. I've been in when it's just like classic Mickey Mouse playing. Oh my gosh, so great. So that's like a big key feature. You've got a movie playing, you've got AC going for a toddler. So they're great. They've got car seats, AC. I know I'm rambling again, but movies playing, and it's just something great. And I'm trying to think of what else like a good feature of them is, but I'm just saying like the drivers are great. Like they're already equipped with all of this, so why not? You know, if after a long park day and tired, why not? Now I kind of want to talk about why we book a minivan and why they're beneficial for us, that occasionally we will be like, let's spend that little bit of extra and we're booking a minivan. So as I've said before, I am a toddler mom of a 3-year-old who just turned 3 this year. So like prior to infant ages, etc. You know, we've been in the hot season, we've been in the cold season, we've been in the rainy season. we have been several times. So for us, a minivan is sometimes just that convenience factor. I'm also a Disney travel agent, and so for me, I have been testing out every single resort that is possibly available for any of my clients. So like sometimes that means that the only transportation we have from resort to the parks or such and such is it's going to be the bus, or it's going to be, you know, the boat or something. But for the most part, we're talking the bus. Like, this is why minivans have been convenient for us. So our biggest thing is like when it is, you know, sometimes it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It is scorching hot because it's, you know, June or July, or it's something like that, May, because I feel like those are kind of those hotter months, September. And my kid is like right there at that meltdown point, and I am like, speaking of kid, he just about walked in. He's getting ready to walk in. When he's at that meltdown point where I am like, I don't think I can mentally and personally handle the bus, a stroller, a toddler on that verge of a meltdown, because we are like right there. We're getting tired. We're fighting a nap. We're hot. We're hangry because we're not eating well because it's hot. Like, when we're in that like mode, I am 100% like, I will spend some money and get us a minivan for the convenient factor of they're gonna pick us up right there. We don't have to wait other than the time frame that it's giving us. We're going to get into that minivan. They are going to have a car seat that is going to be adjusted to my toddler or infant, whoever. And then once you get in there, they're going to have Mickey movies or some kind of Disney movie playing for your kids, or Disney music, AC, perfect AC. And then my toddler is just a car toddler in general. He sits so well in a car seat. He's kind of like, what are you doing, Mom? He sits so well in a car seat. Like, he has always been like that car seat napper type kid. So for us, like, to get in a car seat is like kind of his like relaxation. So for us, like, a minivan was just, sometimes it's just key because it's like he can get in that car seat and he relax. I'm talking to the camera. And it's just great because, oh, there he is. Say hi, Emerson. Hi.
Hi, camera.
Yeah, hi, camera. And so again, it's just the having that convenience factor at certain points like that is just great. So yeah, hold on. We have a visitor right here. Oh, you want to talk on the camera? Okay. Hi. Oh, dirty mouth from your snack you had. It's okay. It happens. Parent life, right? Say hi.
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 Hi, Mommy.
Hi. What's your name?
My name
Is Emerson?
I got chocolate on my hand.
Yeah, you got chocolate on your mouth. Yeah, don't you? Is that from your Z-Bar and your snack? Yeah. So just talking about something of like why we would book one would be another thing, as like, you know, I've talked about like the midday naps and we're just on that verge and I just can't fight a bus. Another would be like after like the park's closing and I really don't want to fight a bus also, because I know the crowd lines, especially for some of those value moderate resorts, are going to be large. We have noticed like most of the deluxe lines aren't that crazy in the evenings, but some value resorts, you're just like, am I gonna get on this bus, or are we gonna have a meltdown before I get off, like get even on the bus, I guess I should say. So sometimes like at the end of the evening, I'm like, you know, I know we're gonna leave in like 15-20 minutes, and I get on and I'll look and be like, okay, what's it estimating, because that is going to be your prime time. I'm just telling you, park opening and park closing is going to be the most expensive time to book a minivan. So it's kind of like, is it worth the money then? Occasionally there has been a few times that we have done it in the evenings after a long park day and we're just zonked and that we want it, because they will sometimes drop you off like right where your room is. Like, even if you didn't select it in the thing, the drivers will be like, okay, well, where's your room at, and or what building are you in? And we'll tell them, and they'll be like, oh, well, we can get you as close as we can. Lifesaver, great. Exhausted, tired, you know, we're tired, toddlers are tired, you know, it's hot, we're sweaty, we're wet, we're something. So they're just lifesavers on that factor. But there has been times that it's been like, I know I talked about it at the beginning when I was talking about the booking, where I've tried to book one because we're just like, oh, we need it. I can't not, you know, I need one. And it'll be like, we're looking for a driver. We're looking for a driver. We're looking for a driver. And it's like going and going and going to the point that it has timed out before on me and been like, please re-enter. And I'm like, oh, so the queue was that bad that I didn't even get a minivan picked up. So then again, I shoot again, and I'm like, no, we're not, it's not worth it. Which is by this point, it's like, I know we're ready to leave. You know, we've looked through the stores, we've done the restroom, and I'm like, let's just head for the bus line. So that's one thing we've used it for. But like, I would say our biggest thing we've used it for is from resort to resort, because interruption time. Oh, okay, real mom life. Here we go. So what I was kind of saying is like going to be that resort to resort is going to be the biggest thing. I probably cannot stress enough to use a minivan. As someone who's done Disney quite frequently and a lot of times, this is the biggest thing to use a minivan for. As far as like when you go from like your resort you're staying at to get to that resort for a dining reservation, it's going to be most likely a character breakfast or character dining. But then, you know, there's so many different restaurants throughout the resorts, and some of the resort restaurants are great. Like, you need to go check them out. So to go from your resort to another, I'm gonna 100% tell you that probably a minivan's gonna be your best option, unless you're already in the parks. Now, if you're already in the parks, you can obviously be like, okay, well, we have reservations at the boardwalk for dinner, so let's just leave Magic Kingdom and let's get on the boardwalk bus. And then, you know, or if you're at Epcot, you can literally just walk from Epcot right out to the boardwalk. So like that you wouldn't really need to, but then when like you leave the boardwalk to get back to your resort, like, do you really want to take the bus from the boardwalk back to Magic Kingdom, get off Magic Kingdom, get back on another bus to go to your resort? Because that's kind of how the system works. We love Disney transportation. We love that it's free. We love that it offers it like pretty much everywhere. But when it comes to resort, you're kind of limited, and you are going to be playing like kind of like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but you're going to be bouncing around a lot, because you're going to be like, okay, we got to ride the bus here, and then we got to get off the bus here, and we either have to ride a boat over, the monorail over, or a bus over, or we do this, and like you just, your time frame, it's like, I just wasted like 45 minutes waiting on a bus, getting on a bus, getting off the bus, waiting on a bus, getting on a bus. Like, I guess to me, time is money and time is value. So I would rather pay $38-40 for a minivan and get there instantly versus having to play like hopscotch, yep, you know what I'm looking for, around the parks to get there, because I just think with a toddler, I don't enjoy the buses in general, let alone load up, get on a bus, get off. It's, you know, you've got the gist now at this point. So for me, a minivan it's golden. Like, that is the way to go from resort to resort. So like, as a tip, like, that is one thing we use every time we're going somewhere, from a resort to a resort. Like we just did, like I said in the clip earlier about showing you how to book, we did Ohana, and so we went from French Quarter to Polynesian. My husband and I, we have stayed at Grand Floridian and went over to the Wilderness Lodge for lunch one day, because we really like the Wilderness Lodge. Trying to think what else. Like, we have stayed at one resort, a value resort, and we went over to the Contemporary. So it's like one of those things, like, it's just so convenient and easy, because you just type in what resort you're picking up at and what resort you're going to. You can even minivan from, like, you know, your minivan from the park to the resort you're dining at if you wanted to, and then you obviously from after your dining reservation, or even if you're not even doing dining reservation and you're just going to check out a resort. Like, the boardwalk is a super cool nightlife resort, like in the evenings. It's not, I wouldn't say it's great for toddlers. As a mom of a 3-year-old who's very active, I mean, it's great, but I think it's very adult teenage life kind of thing, because like it has a lot of nighttime shows, which are great, and then it's got a few little lounges, and the food was good though. We loved the food there. But yeah, the views there are gorgeous. So just to go check out a resort at night, or if you want to go check out the Grand Floridian when they have the gingerbread house up, like, you know, there's so many things you can go check out at different resorts that you don't see in the parks or other places. So 100% recommend, again, rambling, a minivan to get from one point to the next point, especially for a resort. So those are kind of the reasons we use a minivan. It's going to be that exhausted, tired, don't want to fight a bus, don't want to fight anything. Resort hopping from resort to resort, convenience wise. And then just sometimes in the evening when we're tired and we just don't want to mess with the bus also, or Disney transportation, we want to be dropped off like right there at our resort, or our room door or our lobby. We want to just hop on over, like we just, the hassle free of a Disney bus. If you've been to Disney, you understand the Disney bus. But that's, so just kind of recapping. So pretty much I kind of went over how you book it with the Lyft app. Kind of went over like that they offer the 2 car seats, that they're going to pick you up at different parks, and there's going to be like a park pickup minivan section, or there's going to be a minivan pickup section in the parks or outside the parks where like the bus transportation is. So they're going to drop you off, pick you up close. They're going to drop you off, pick you up in the lobby of your resort, or as like I said earlier with the building thing, such a convenient factor. They're going to have the movies playing for kids. They're going to have AC. AC sometimes is just a winning aspect to things. I know that the buses have it, but something about sitting in your own seat with the AC going, and you can control how hot and how high it is or where it's at. Sometimes after a hot, sweaty day at the parks or a rainy day at the parks, sometimes it's like you want to be warm and cozy because you're soaking wet, and like the last thing you want to do is sit this close to someone on the bus. You probably know if you know what I'm explaining. But so just those key factors of why a minivan is just great overall and how to book one. Another key factor is, this is totally new as I'm making this video, like they just released it maybe a few weeks ago, is the new transportation from the deluxe resorts to the airport. You are now able to get that with a minivan. I don't know what the cost is. I have heard rumored hearsay, 100 something bucks, could be up to 200 per one way kind of thing. We use a private transportation to get from the airport to our resort anyway. There is a link below. If you go to my link down below with all my travel agent stuff, I have in there our Orlando car service that we use. Love them, have never had a problem with them. They are great. Probably cheaper than the minivans, just to let you know. So the new minivan from the airport to the deluxe resort is so new, so I'm not even going to talk about that or carry into it, I guess, any information, because I don't really 100% know. So I don't want to put anything out there false. But that is it. If you can't tell, a minivan is definitely a hot thing for us. We like to have one, or use one occasionally when we're in the parks. I will have to say, we go to Disney probably anywhere between 4 to 6 times a year, and I think every trip we've at least used the minivan 1 to 2 times, especially with a toddler. So keep that in mind. It's just something to think about. And that's just something, if you like the little convenience and you're on vacation and you want to splurge and you want to get back to your room a little more convenient, or resort hopping. Resort hopping, like I said, is so big. Like, the best way to use a minivan is to resort hop, honestly. But yeah, so thank you for taking the time today and watching my video. I appreciate it, and I would love if you would like and subscribe to this video, or I guess like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you can't tell, I'm still new at the YouTube thing, but I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad that you have taken the time to watch my video and just helping support me one way or the other.